Closed captioning is brought to you by Scent Thief. Make the wind your cover. This week on Interlocks Out There, Interlock All-Star Justin Merkel is chasing down a buck he named Brokey.
We're out here. This is the spot. This cornfield back here behind me. This is where Brokey took his last breath.
This giant Tennessee buck is on the hit list and on the radar. It's an early season success story with a bittersweet ending.
I've had this farm for about 10 years, and it's just an island inside town, and I have busted my hind end turning this place into what it is.
It started with a dream, a vision and a passion, but 8 years old already put it into action. Who knew back then the outcome would be me with my own show on national TV? Learned to love the outdoors from my dad as a kid. Now kept me out of trouble, so I'm thankful I did. From doing projects in high school to being field producer, never lost focus on my goals or my future. Now I travel around the country, stalking my prey. From deer frogs and buffalo to record-sized rays, the bowfishing guru, a hunting extremist. From archery to rifle, make the transition seamless. A year-round adventure, I prove that it can be. The only thing that matters more to me is my family. So come and make these memories last a lifetime with me, and watch it on Interlocks Out There TV. Let's get out there, out there, out there. Let's go out.
Interlocks Out There has been around for over 14 years, airing shows from across the country and even Canada. This venture couldn't have been done without the hard work of not only Corey Brossman, but his Interlock All-Stars as well. Justin Merkel is no stranger to Interlocks Out There. He, along with other All-Stars, contribute so much to the show. Justin's passion is chasing mature whitetails.
Merkel is obsessed with hunting mature whitetails.
Early season whitetail hunting can be some of the best hunting of the year. The deer are still on their summer patterns and generally on a food source. Soybeans, cut cornfields, and oak flats are generally good places to start looking for bucks. The use of a good cellular trail camera can help you locate and pattern these deer without pressuring them. A good idea is to start your scouting off in the springtime. We recommend adding a good mineral to your farm to help both buck and doe. Rackroids is a premium blend of mineral that will help the bucks grow their antlers to maximum potential. And trust me, the doe will benefit more from a good mineral site. Hanging up a camera over those mineral sites will help you know what deer are in the area.
Rackroids is a premium mineral blend that I believe in, but I'm not the only one that believes in it. All my All-Stars use it each and every year to help their whitetails grow to their maximum potential and stay healthier.
This buck has been on my mind for the last 2 years for sure, especially this summer. Man, you can't describe it. He's just a special deer. 2018, our first velvet hunt here in Tennessee, I was after a pretty decent 8-pointer. That's my first full rack, full velvet buck. And little did I know that the night that I killed that 8-pointer, I had a spike standing directly under me with a ripped ear and spikes this long. December of that 2018, that same spike with the ripped ear gets hit right here on the highway, breaks his front right leg. So the broke leg is where he got the name. I just always called him Brokey, old Brokey. He got a broke, gimping around on a broke leg.
Brokey was a deer that was on Justin's mind. It was funny the first year, he was a spike and we all kind of laughed about it. And the next year when he blew up into a beautiful 8-point, Merkel's like, this deer's got a lot of potential. So he put the minerals to him.
About June, there he was, ripped ear, nubs coming out of his head. And I had a couple pretty decent deer hanging around at the time. And I'd get pictures of him over time, every few days to every day. And by August, the little old spike was a 120-inch 8-pointer with a broke leg and a ripped ear. 2019 season comes to an end. Brokey's still around. Didn't really keep a whole lot of track through turkey season. I kind of transitioned my cameras, but as soon as turkey season ended, it was back in the deer mode, and there was Brokey still toting the rack around. Ain't dropped yet. So right at the end of May, June 1, somewhere right in those few days, he finally dropped, and the nubs started coming out, and they were big around as his eye sockets. And you know, I knew he was going to be good, but not 160 inches good. It's just unbelievable.
Interlocks Out There is powered by Interlock Broadheads, Umarex Air Guns, Lumenok, Honda Marine and Honda Generators, AMS Bowfishing, Black Widow Deer Lures. Interlocks Out There is also proud to endorse these great partners. Now, Tennessee isn't known for big deer, but Justin is proof with hard work, sacrifice, and patience, you can grow mature deer. On a particular farm he calls the Foundry, Justin uses extensive deer and turkey management. Mineral, food plots, cellular cameras, trapping, and land management are some of the things he's done to help the deer and turkeys. For over 10 years, Justin has managed this farm.
10 years ago, always been a lot of deer here, and there's usually a good buck, you know, that cruises, comes through and come and gone. But mineral, food plots, beans, corn, clover, thicket, overgrown fields, logging roads since they logged that I've kept cleaned up for passageways, just everything I could do to make this place better.
A few years back, a spiked buck showed up on the Foundry. The buck was hit by a car, only breaking its leg. Justin nicknamed the buck Brokey. After a year of good mineral, the buck went from a spike to a nice 8-point buck. Justin knew this deer had potential, and at 3 years old, Brokey blew up into a giant.
August gets here, and the velvet hunt, and I've got Brokey on pretty good schedule. He's daylighting pretty regular. Just before dark, but so I come up with a game plan, moved some stands, got everything set up, and day one of the velvet hunt, I'm sitting on my couch at 2:30 in the afternoon. The hurricane's coming up into the south, and the weather's just getting really crappy. Saturday, come in here, Patrick and I, and climb up the stand, seen several deer, and right at dark, through the thicket, I see a rack buck coming through. You know, just initial first sight, good rack. I had 2 shooters out here, so you know I was wanting Brokey, but I wasn't sure which one. I just knew it was a good one, and he comes in 15 yards and shoot him. Well, it was my shooter 8-pointer. So I filled my tag on day 2 of the velvet hunt. So I'm automatically back into Brokey mode.
In Tennessee, you're able to take 2 deer. So Justin went out, he shot his target 8-point, and now he was switching gears and solely going after Brokey.
I spent night after night after night just thinking, where's this deer bedding? Where's he going? Why is he going here? Why is he coming here on this day and this time? What's the wind direction? Anything I could think of, I tried my best to come up with a plan. We had a cold front that pushed in, and Tuesday morning it was 40 degrees. 7:30 that morning, bam, Brokey, daylight. All right. Tuesday evening, Brokey, daylight. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Between 6:45 and 7:15, Brokey, daylight, every day. So the wind showed to be perfect. We had a west-northwest wind, which is a perfect crosswind right here, coming right at my shoulder right here. Perfect crosswind. And so I come up with the plan, get in the shooting house. He's been showing up right here on both cameras in the daylight. And you know, just all I wanted was just to see him, just to put eyes on him. Because other than the middle of summer when I watched him in the bean field one night, I hadn't seen him up here, you know, especially hardhorn. So that was my overall goal, was just to put eyes on him, observe, and you know, get a little footage. And man, I didn't have any idea what I was in store for.
Interlocks Out There is powered by Interlock Broadheads, Rackroids, Kula Buck, Scent Thief, Powertran, Lakewood Products. Interlocks Out There is also proud to endorse these great partners. Products seen on today's show can be purchased at mikesarchery.com. Outdoor Edge. There's never a dull moment with the razor-sharp, replaceable blade knives. Justin received some bad news, though, prior to the 2020 deer season. The foundry had been sold. The property where Justin worked so hard on was going to be turned into a development. Justin made the choice to pattern Brokey and hunt him as much as possible before the property would go under construction.
Well, it's opening day here in Tennessee. It's September 26th. We're sitting here in my shooting house. I've got a patch of beans that I had that I'd bush hogged down. Didn't do very good. We got about 2 acres of corn right here in front of us. It's great weather, cool, overcast. It's been rainy the last few days. We're back on the voyage for old Brokey. We hunted out here on the velvet hunt about a month ago. Brokey didn't show, but I did kill a pretty nice 8-pointer. Brokey's been pretty active in this cornfield the last several days, so just fingers crossed he shows up again tonight, right around the same time he has been. We should be good. You never know. About 6:30. Deer just come out right down the edge of the corner there. I got 2 big does and a wood. Just about pretty close to the same time they've been all week. Between 5:45 and 6:15. So they were just close. Fingers crossed old Brokey shows up.
$7.15. Kent says, Merkel, there's a deer. And you couldn't tell because he was coming around the bend right here and all you could see was his back. So I put the binoculars on him, and about the time I got settled on him with the binoculars, he picked his head up and I just about lost it. Just that big old wide frame, just there he was. I knew he's gonna come right down the edge of this corn, and sure enough, he did.
On this week's Cammie's Corner, we learn why youngsters should start their shooting career by plinking with air guns instead of a firearm.
By the age of 3, my dad had me shooting air guns. At the age of 4, I was shooting deer and turkeys with shotguns and crossbows. It truly has made me into the hunter I am today, and I have a long way to go. I will still continue to shoot air guns to help me focus and shoot even better. Kids should start off with air guns when the parent feels they are ready. When you feel like your son or daughter is ready, be sure to start them off with an air gun like an NXG or Embark. This will keep things fun and cheap. Be sure to wear eye protection and teach them all the fundamentals and responsibilities of the sport of shooting. Now get out there, get an Umarex, and happy shooting.
7:15. Kent says, Merkel, there's a deer. And I just about lost it. Just that big old wide frame, just there he was. He followed, there's a little buck come in, passed him up, and he followed right behind him, cut right through the corner right here, and 35 yards.
You got him? Yeah, when he comes out, turn the broadside, I'm gonna get him. Smoked. We're on the job, baby. Stay on him. Stay on him. Go down, baby. Go down. Go down. Go down. Go down right there. Come on. Did I get him good?
And there it was. The final move to the game. And I was, Lord willing, that arrow flew true. Up and down good, slightly back a little bit. So we elected to back out of here, and we give him about 5.5 hours.
A little bit back, a little bit low. He ran up to the end of the lane right here and stopped and stood there for probably 10-15 minutes, and then finally hobbled over into the woods. We're gonna back out.
Anytime you hit a deer back, it's a good idea. In fact, it's the only idea to just back out.
Oh God, I can't believe that. Look at that sucker. Here, East Tennessee. I never thought ever that I'd ever kill a deer like this here. Never. I shoot deer like this in the Midwest, and this was going right with the top of them. That's nuts.
Justin, I'm super proud of you, man. I know you put your heart and soul into this deer. Nice job.
There was a spike. Didn't even have spikes as long as his brow tines. Not even as thick. It's crazy. This is a 3.5-year-old buck for sure. And it's just, he got hit by a car. His other leg right here has been broke. He hobbles around on it. And I've got thousands and thousands of pictures of this buck. And my overall goal was to try to let him go to a 4-year-old, but this farm's for sale, and there's a guy looking at it pretty hard. And I got a problem with vehicles around here. These deer like to venture out on the highway and get run over, so I made the decision he wasn't getting by. It's hard to, I don't know that anybody could let a deer like that go. Got him. Just blessed, man, blessed. I've never done drugs, but I don't know that there's any drug on this earth that could overcome that feeling. It's pretty emotional. So, and it hit me like a ton of bricks. Just that caliber of deer here just don't happen every day, and it just shows you what you can do for these deer to get that. Now, genetics is a must. You got to have genetics to have it. But the mineral, the corn, the soybeans, the no pressure, the no fly zones. I've got 20 acres on this farm that I never step foot in. And it helps, it works. He's proof. In 3 years, that deer put on 155 inches of antler in 3 years. No explanation for it, but there's no doubt, 100% same buck. Ripped deer, broke leg. 3 years, 155 plus inches of antler.
As you can tell, Justin put his heart and soul into Brokey. It goes to show you that good mineral, hard work, and a little bit of luck, you can have big deer on your farms.
As I said here, this is the last spot that Brokey walked before he died. So, I'm Justin Merkel, and we just ruled the woods in Tennessee this week with a giant named Brokey, and it's one hell of a way to end my season.
Interlocks Out There is powered by Interlock Broadheads, Umarex Air Guns, Lumenok, Honda Marine and Honda Generators, AMS Bowfishing, Black Widow Deer Lure, Kula Buck, Scent Thief. Interlocks Out There is also proud to endorse these great partners: